Alright, so let me do you a favor. This episode of Monday Night Raw, let me give you a heads up. Skip the first 2 hours of the show because they were fucking garbage. Monday Night Raw review for Raw episode July 22nd, 2013. And, the first 2 hours of the show was just like trying to just wade through a fucking desert of shit, man. Shit, diarrhea, and fucking garbage. It was just so boring and, plotting and terrible, man. Fucking horrible. The last hour was alright, but before that, man, it was not that great. And, you know, it's like they didn't learn their fucking lesson from last week. The show opens with Brad Maddox coming out, and he brings out John Cena. You know, did the same fucking thing as last week. It was, you know, bad to worse last week. You know, this week it's worse to fucking abysmal. I'm tired of it. It's only been 2 weeks and I'm fucking done, man. But it's for contract signing for the WWE title match. So, here's the thing, man. Before Cena's music even starts, Brad Maddox is introducing John Cena. Guess what happens, huh? Guess what happens? Do you know? He gets booed. The crowd fucking boos him. Again. It just keeps happening. Everywhere John Cena goes, everything he fucking does nowadays, he gets the shit booed out of him. By just about every arena in the fucking country, maybe even in the fucking world at this point. He's just terrible, man. He gets booed on the rampway. He gets booed in the ring after his music stops. He gets fucking booed some more. Booed out of the fucking building. Every week it's the same old shit. And then guess what happens? Guess what happens after that? The crowd's not chanting, Cena sucks. Crowd's not chanting, let's go Cena. They're chanting, yes, 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 yes. It's all Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is unequivocally the brightest shining star in the WWE at this point. He's shining even brighter than John Cena at this moment. And this has happened before. It happened with CM Punk. And they fucking ruined it. So I'm gonna get to that later on at the end of the show. But right now, Daniel Bryan is the brightest star, shining even brighter than John Cena. Because they don't even give a fuck about John Cena. They're just chanting yes. They want Daniel Bryan. Let's go Bryan. You know, John Cena doesn't even come close at this point to the reaction that Daniel Bryan's getting. And that's fucking awesome. But it also is lining Daniel Bryan up to... he's going to have a very sad future ahead of him. But anyway, Maddox asks, why did Cena choose Daniel Bryan? And Cena's like, you know, he's out there to try to ride the Daniel Bryan heat wave. He wants to steal the man's thunder and piss all over him. John Cena's like a fucking vampire, like a succubus. He just wants to suck the lifeblood, just suck the energy out of the hot thing in the company at the time, out of whatever the hot act is. I'm talking CM Punk, I'm talking Zack Ryder, you know, whatever's hot. Cena just latches on, he's just like a fucking succubus. Just taking it, man. Just taking all the energy, trying to take it for himself because he's a fucking douchebag. And that's what's happening here. You know, Cena says he does it for the fans. Get the fuck out of here. What a pandering asshole. Daniel Bryan comes out next. And huge pop. Crowd's chanting his name. This guy is so over now. It's fucking ridiculous. WWE doesn't give a shit about it, though. They just want to see how they can use him to help put Cena over, which is ridiculous, man, which is fucking ridiculous. Because here's the thing. Let me get through my notes here. Cena says he chose Bryan because management thinks, this is basically what he said, WWE management thinks that Bryan isn't suitable for the title because he's too small, he's too crazy looking, too mentally unstable, and WWE is into the bigger guys, the roided out freaks. That's not what he said, but You know, I'm paraphrasing here, I guess. Eddie... John Cena breaks out names like Eddie Guerrero, Shawn Michaels, Rey Mysterio as examples of these smaller guys that have made it big. And these are also examples of guys that John Cena has buried in the past, okay? Every single one of those guys has lost to John Cena in big main event matches, I'd like to point out. So, oh man. Except for maybe Eddie Guerrero, but I'm pretty sure he had to at some point as well. Both guys signed the contract. Bryan starts to cut his side of the promo. Maddox cuts him off and says he's going to have to compete in multiple matches tonight to try to prove himself that he actually deserves the spot for the WWE title match, not just because Cena handed it to him. I did not like this segment. This segment sucked because it was all about John Cena pandering to the crowd, and everybody knows how this is all going to end at SummerSlam anyway. I mean, it just fucking sucks. Cena... This guy wishes he was as over as Daniel Bryan was. And normally I say Cena comes out and he's just, you know, when people boo him and say that he sucks, he slaps him in the face with his dick. That's what I say. But tonight, they weren't booing Cena. I mean, they were booing Cena, but they weren't chanting he sucks. They were just cheering for Bryan. They didn't give a shit about John Cena. Tonight, it felt like it wasn't Cena slapping you in the face with his dick. It felt like he was doing everything but going out in the crowd and whipping their dicks out and slapping himself in the face with them, trying to do whatever he can to get over with the crowd. I mean, I feel like John Cena would go out and blow a hobo on the street if he felt like the guy would stand up and clap and cheer for him after he was done. But Jesus Christ, man, this guy he just drains the life's blood out of everything good and popular and entertaining in the company, in the product, in professional wrestling in general. The man is garbage. He fucking sucks. So this segment was a fail, man. And not because of Daniel Bryan, not even because of Brad Maddox. It was all John Cena. It was all them John Cena just trying to suck the energy out of the whole Daniel Bryan heat wave and try to gear it towards himself. And I fucking hated it. Oh boy. Next up was Sheamus versus Alberto Del Rio. Sheamus came out and the man got barely any pop. Good. I fucking love that. He's got this nasty bruise on his left leg that they kept pointing out throughout the match. And, oh, man, I'll tell you what, I had some delicious Chinese food leftovers during this match, and I'm glad I did. It was awesome. I love that food. And I'm glad I picked this match to eat for, because that was the only thing keeping me fucking awake, because this match was fucking boring. This match was dull. Putting these two in a ring together is just fucking garbage, man. It just sucked. You got two guys that I don't give a shit about. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people out there don't give a fucking shit about these two either. So you put them in the match together, and guess what happens? I don't fucking care. I'm more into the food that I'm eating than the match that I'm watching, because it was just so much shit. And Del Rio won with a roll-up because Sheamus' leg was injured, and it gave out on him when he was trying to do a move. I don't know. I don't fucking care. It was stupid, and I was so wrapped up in my scrumptious dinner, but I'm pretty sure that I heard the commentators were actually trying to play Sheamus up as the underdog in this match because he wasn't the champion, and that he was being such a fighter because of his injury. Let me tell you something. The real underdog in this match was, without a shadow of a doubt, Alberto Del Rio. And for Alberto, and I don't like Alberto Del Rio that much right now, but for him to get this win over Sheamus, even if it was just a shit roll-up victory, that's a big win for him. You know, it's not the other way around, because you got two main god characters in this company that wrestle on a regular basis, John Cena and Sheamus, and Randy Orton just a small level below that. But Randy Orton actually puts guys over sometimes. Cena and Sheamus absolutely do not, especially Cena. So, for Del Rio, even though he's the champion, to beat Sheamus, that's a big fucking deal. And for them to try to play Sheamus up as the underdog, are you fucking kidding me? No. Del Rio had an uphill battle there. Not Sheamus. Get the fuck out of here. Next up was some backstage bullshit between Booker T and Teddy Long. I tried to watch this segment for about 15 seconds, but it was so horribly acted that I gave up and I skipped it. No, not worth my time. And the next match was Christian versus Titus O'Neil. I don't know. This match was okay. Wasn't too much good or bad about it. Christian hit the kill switch for the win, and it looked totally fucking awkward to see Christian try to put a guy of Titus O'Neil's size in the kill switch. It just looked goofy, man. It really did. But other than that, there's not much else to say about this match. It just was kind of there. And then they cut to the backstage Ryback promo. And my God, man, how the far this guy has fallen. This promo was the most generic fucking bully promo I've ever heard. You know, I don't know if I don't know if it's Ryback's delivery of his promos. I'm pretty sure for this particular promo, it was what the WWE gave him to say. It was the most bland, boring, generic bullshit you could possibly think of that he was spewing. And it's just... It's such a cookie-cutter, fucking pigeonholed, stereotyped bad guy persona that he's got now. It's terrible, man. Any kind of heat or energy that this guy had, guess what happened? Cena the succubus just drained it. Just sucked that fucking shit right out of Ryback. Ryback's just a husk of the character that he used to be. He's fucking garbage, man. And this promo was garbage, man. And you know what? I hate to say it, but this is probably going to be Daniel Bryan in a couple of months. Not necessarily cutting a bully promo like this, but he'll be doing something generic and fucking terrible like this after the Cena machine gets done with him. Next up, there was a Mark Henry promo. Apparently, he's turning face. I didn't expect this to happen. He's from Texas, so they were in Texas that night. The crowd got behind him. He calls out the Shield, says he got his ass beat, he's not going to take that lying down, basically is what he said. Shield comes out, starts attacking. Usos come out for the save, Shield retreats. Obviously leading into a six-man tag match for SummerSlam. And, you know, it's not high on the importance scale for the Shield, but it's going to be a good wrestling match. So I think, you know, I don't really have a problem with that. I could do to see some more good wrestling from the Shield. So, you know, if you want to get that, if you want to give that match to me, fine, I'll take it. All right, so backstage segment was next. Daniel Bryan's in the back. Cena comes up and he tries to offer his help to Daniel Bryan during his matches, or at least to say that he's got his back later on in the night when Daniel Bryan's got to run the gauntlet, basically. Bryan says, "Tonight is my shot to prove that I belong here. I'm going to fight. I'm going to win. And if you interfere, that means all the compliments that you gave me earlier talking about how great I am is all fucking what did he say? Not garbage, but it's a load of crap," is what he said to Cena. I liked it. It was a good promo. Again, they're working the Daniel Bryan underdog storyline very well. I do have something negative that I want to say about this promo, but I'm going to save it all for the end of the review. Up next was Dolph Ziggler versus Darren Young. Again, another match that didn't really have any significance. It was just kind of there. It wasn't spectacular, but it wasn't terrible. Just kind of meh again. So Ziggler sneaks from behind, nails a zigzag, gets the win. Crowd was super behind Ziggler during this match. He's still over with the crowd despite WWE's best efforts to shit all over him in the main event, which they've done. And I went over that several times recently. I don't have much else to say about that. Ziggler's back in the mid card. He's not going anywhere. He's gonna be the United States champion or Intercontinental champion soon. He's got to get out of this company. My feelings on it. Go somewhere where he can be a main event guy. And then Anyway, after the match, Big E comes out, attacks Ziggler. Ziggler's able to fight him off and escape. I don't know why he's got to fucking escape. I mean, I know Big E's the bigger guy, but he's not the better wrestler, so, you know, I don't agree with that shit. But anyway, the mid-card madness continues for Ziggler. Whoop-de-fucking-doo! I don't give a shit. He's not in the main event. It's a huge step down. Big E in this feud, it's not doing him any favors because Ziggler can't get over anybody major anyway, so Ziggler is not helping Big E Langston in this feud, and it's not helping Ziggler at all either, so, you know. I still think it's fucking garbage. Oh, God. Next up was a gigantic fail fucking segment with The Miz and all the divas to promote the stupid reality show. One big commercial is what it is. And I skipped the whole fucking thing. I did. But apparently, you had a Bella boob malfunction. One of her titties just kind of flopped out during the segment at one point. I don't know when. The picture's up all over on the internet. You don't have to actually watch the segment to see that, if that's what you want to see. Just, you know, go out to one of the sites and check it out. So that happened in the middle of this garbage fucking segment. Backstage was more garbage with Brad Maddox, Triple H, and Stephanie McMahon. Just like last week, just like this Diva segment, I skipped it. Because I don't give a shit. Oh, and it continues. The blah matches keep going on tonight. Cody Rhodes versus Fandango. Damian Sandow was on commentary. Again, another match where it was just kind of, you know, it wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was just kind of there, and, you know, I was zoning out at this point. This Raw was very, unmentionable. Nothing of great importance has happened up to this point. It's been fucking boring. But the match got sloppy at the end with Cody Rhodes' moonsault looked a little goofy, and the disaster kick that was supposed to hit Sandow and Fandango at the same time, that didn't look that great. Other than that, there's not much else to say. Cody Rhodes won with the Crossroads. Big deal. You know, who gives? Who cares? And here we go, man. 2 hours, 2/3 into this 3-hour Raw show. Finally, the show actually starts to get a little bit interesting. CM Punk promo. This was another really good segment to hype up the SummerSlam match between him and Brock Lesnar. WWE's firing on all cylinders, and I'm not even going to say that. I take that back. I do not credit the WWE for doing this. This is Paul Heyman and CM Punk collaborating. I guarantee you they have a lot of input in what they're saying as far as this build-up for this match goes. And you can tell, and it's working really well. Crowd was super behind CM Punk during this promo. Punk then leads into Paul Heyman, says again that he's going to get him, challenges Lesnar officially to the match at SummerSlam. He calls it the best versus the beast. That's a good tagline. I mean, that's going to sell tickets right there. That's going to sell pay-per-view buys. Just that tagline and the build-up to this match. People are going to buy this pay-per-view just to see these two wrestle, I guarantee you. And then you get Heyman up live via satellite. You get more great back and forth between these two. They work so well off of each other in a promo. But the best line of the promo by far was by Punk, when he's so pissed about Paul Heyman being live via satellite. He's going to get the hell out of here with this via satellite garbage. A+ in my book, man. Quality shit. I laughed my ass off when he said that. Just because it seemed so off the cuff. I enjoyed it. So I really like this promo. The one thing I thought was kind of goofy is that Paul Heyman was acting like Brock Lesnar was just off camera to his left, I believe, and he kept referring to Brock as though he was standing right there, and everybody knew that Brock Lesnar wasn't there. Why do you gotta pretend that he is? That was just kind of fucking dumb. But other than that, this promo was pretty solid. I'm very hyped for this match still. Very much looking forward to it. Next up was RVD versus Wade Barrett. And this was a botchy fucking match, man. I think RVD must have legitimately kicked Wade Barrett in the fucking head like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times throughout this match. It was kind of sloppy, man. But especially that first kick that Wade Barrett took, like just seconds after the match started, Wade Barrett got his fucking mouth busted open. I don't know if it was lip or gums or maybe he chipped a tooth or something. I don't fucking know. But Barrett was bleeding pretty heavy from his mouth. And, oh, excuse me, my stomach's feeling a little weird today, so bear with me with all of the weird noises my belly's making. I don't know if it's coming up on camera. But Barrett got busted open. He kept getting kicked in the fucking head by RVD. I thought it was funny. I mean, I was just laughing every time a botch happened. RVD hit the 5-star frog splash to win the match. Match was okay. It was a botch fest, but it was a funny botch fest. Next up was Raw is Daniel Bryan. It's your 3-part main event, basically. First up, he had to fight Jack Swagger. And, not much to say about this match. The crowd was chanting, OU sucks, I believe, to Swagger, because that's where he went to college. That was pretty funny. At one point, it looked like Jack Swagger was going to fucking cry from the chants. He looked all teary-eyed in the middle of the ring. And that's right when Daniel Bryan locked on the LeBell lock and Swagger tapped out, even though he was right next to the fucking ropes. It could have easily reached him. But that was the end of that part of the segment. First match of the 3 down. Daniel Bryan wins. Next match was against Antonio Cesaro. And what a match. What a really good wrestling match. You know, I've been saying for months, I don't even remember how long I've been saying this. Maybe even since Cesaro started. The man has got the look. The man has got the size. I think the guy can cut good promos, and he obviously has the wrestling skills to back it all up. The man is a fucking beast. Antonio Cesaro can go. He looked very good in this match. Daniel Bryan looked good in this match. Lots of good things in this match happened. I didn't even take a whole lot of notes during this match about all the spots because I was just so busy enjoying this match. Crowd was on fire for this match. You know, they were out of control. One thing I really did like that I did take notes on was the series of European uppercuts from Cesaro to Daniel Bryan. He just kept fucking nailing him. Daniel Bryan fell down. He just picked him back up, fucking hit him again. Maybe 20 European uppercuts. And then topped it off with a really big one at the end. A running one that fucking turned Daniel Bryan inside out. Awesome. Fucking awesome. Many other awesome parts to this match. You just gotta watch this match. It was great. It's good stuff. Match of the night, Daniel Bryan steals the show again. Obviously, credit goes to Antonio Cesaro. Like I said, they both looked very good in this match. If you're going to check out any part of Raw, this is the part that you want to see. Great match. And to finish the match, Cesaro pressed Bryan into the air for one of those European uppercuts. And Bryan countered on the way down into a roll-up to get the win. Amazing stuff. Crowd blew up when Daniel Bryan won this match. So, two out of the 3 matches down. White fucking hot for Daniel Bryan. And then what happens? Ryback comes out. Feed me no more, because I'm not allowed to say that chant anymore because I won up against John Cena. Oh. Ryback comes out. All that heat and energy from the crowd just done, dead. No boos, no cheers, just nothing at first, and then Goldberg chants. This match was a total fucking buzzkill compared to that Cesaro match. Ugh. Ryback got "you can't wrestle" chants, and I kind of feel bad for Ryback because if you work him right, he could be a good. I don't think he's ever going to be a great wrestler, but he could put on better matches. But the way they're using him, and especially coming out after that match with Antonio Cesaro to follow up on that immediately after with one of the same guys that was in that match, Of course it's going to look fucking terrible compared to that match they just had. And then the last time I saw Ryback, he was putting the worst roll-up in the world on Chris Jericho. It looked fucking horrible. So, yeah, his wrestling isn't that great, but lately it's been fucking terrible, and it's because of the way the WWE is booking him. Garbage! Fucking garbage. Ryback... Daniel Bryan's running off the apron, and this part was fucking annoying. Ryback grabs him, turns the powerbomb, and is supposed to put him through the table that he set up earlier. Ryback fucking botched the spot, completely whiffed the table, and just dropped Daniel Bryan right on the back of his fucking head. That's a good way to hurt the hottest thing in the company right now. Way to go, asshole. What a... So I wasn't too happy with Ryback about that. That was a bunch of fucking bullshit. Anyway, aside from that fucking ridiculousness, he basically picks Bryan up and does the spot again, and then hits him through the table. And then he like looks surprised. Like, oh, I put him through a table? Yeah, you fucked up your spot that would have been organic, so you had to do it again, and now it looks fucking retarded, looks fucking stupid when you are sitting there trying to act surprised. So then he's like pissed that he lost because he put Daniel Bryan through a table even though he botched the spot. So he goes to attack Daniel Bryan again, and guess what happens? If you have a memory, it's the same fucking thing that happened a few months ago when Daniel Bryan was facing Ryback in a match. And Daniel Bryan got put through a fucking table. Cena comes out again to save the day, just like a few months ago. And, you know, it was so bad, man. Cena comes out, this fucking vampire, this succubus, just trying to drain the energy out of the whole fucking scene. You know, the crowd, another mixed reaction. You go from white-hot cheers for Daniel Bryan to just a mixed bag, more boos than cheers, bullshit for John Cena. Ryback runs away, and Cena's like, let's do a tables match. I don't want to see a tables match between these two assholes. They've already had a tables match, and Cena buried him in that match. I don't want to see him do it again. It's fucking garbage. But I guess that's going to happen next week, and then Vince McMahon strong-arms Maddox in the back to making a Daniel Bryan versus Kane match, showing the storyline that Vince McMahon doesn't care for Daniel Bryan and he's working against him. Alright, so there's a couple things I want to say here. First off, the fact that Daniel Bryan could stay in the ring for over 30 minutes at the end of the show and keep the crowd going strong for the most part, aside from part of that garbage Ryback match, that's a really good sign, again, showing that he is the most over guy in the company. No doubt. But here's the thing. Every single part of the show that Daniel Bryan was in, John Cena was also in. All over the beginning of the program, the backstage promo, in the middle of the show, and right at the very end. And yeah, the whole 3 matches were Daniel Bryan's, but Cena came out for the save at the end. John Cena came out for the save at the end against Daniel Bryan. Let me tell you something. Daniel Bryan could destroy John Cena in the middle of that ring. He doesn't need help. He could destroy Ryback in the middle of that ring. Make both of those motherfuckers tap out. He doesn't need help from John Cena. So the fact that Cena came out to help Daniel Bryan on that alone is ridiculous. And yeah, Cena was in every part of the show that Daniel Bryan was in. It just goes to show that John Cena wants that heat, man. He wants that crowd reaction, and he's going to suck the energy out of Daniel Bryan. I am reminded of the Cena-Zack Ryder segments from a few years ago when Zack Ryder was white hot, all on his own making from his YouTube show. And what did they do? They latched the succubus John Cena onto him. I'm just going to keep calling him the succubus, at least for this week, because it just fits him so perfectly with what happened this week. They latched Cena onto him, and where is Zack Ryder now? He's like blowing off the face of the earth. He doesn't even fucking exist anymore, unless you look on the bowels of Superstars, or maybe Saturday Morning Slam. I don't even think that fucking show's on anymore. But yeah, man, Cena destroyed Zack Ryder. He came out to protect Zack Ryder all the fucking time back then, and now he's doing it again here with Daniel Bryan. I'm reminded of CM Punk. CM Punk cut his shoot promo, the infamous shoot promo. He was white hot babyface. So what do? They took babyface versus babyface for SummerSlam that year. And what happened? They brought out Kevin fucking Nash. Old man Nash, stilty legs Kevin Nash, comes out and power bombs CM Punk. They divert CM Punk away from the main event, away from the title, into this shit fucking feud that totally destroyed all the heat and energy that CM Punk had. And I guarantee you at SummerSlam, they're probably going to do, I'm like 99% certain that they're going to do the same fucking thing here. I'm predicting it now because Vince McMahon doesn't want Daniel Bryan to be the guy. That's the storyline they're running with, and that's pretty close to real life too, by the way. But when it gets to SummerSlam, I guarantee you, Vince McMahon is either going to use somebody that's already in the company, or he's going to bring in some old timer, some old fucking fart to come out there, screw Daniel Bryan over, cost him the match, and then Daniel Bryan's going to get diverted into like mid-card storyline hell. And he's just going to get stuck there, and the crowd's just going to lose focus. They're going to lose that energy. And where is it all going to go? Who's going to stay in that main event? John fucking Cena. That's exactly what's going to happen. They could so easily right now transition from Cena to Daniel Bryan, and it would just work. It would just click. If Daniel Bryan at the end of this feud was the one that remained in that top spot, and it was John Cena that went to work in the mid-card for a little bit. You know what that's called? Change. But that's not what's going to fucking happen, because that's not what the WWE is about. I'm telling you. Daniel Bryan's going to get hosed. John Cena's going to stay at the top, and he's going to try to suck all the energy out of Daniel Bryan for himself, but it's not going to happen. So you're going to have a deflated Daniel Bryan, and John Cena, who's been deflated for years, but it's more apparent than ever now, he's still going to be at the top. So I'm pissed about the whole fucking thing. Still. Anyway, sorry for that extended rant right there. This Raw review probably went on a little long. But overall, okay, so as I was right in the middle of saying that this Raw review probably ran long, my video camera ran out of memory. So I know it went fucking way overboard. I might try to edit out some of the rants, but I was just so pissed with the whole John Cena thing. I just had to get that shit out there. So I'm definitely gonna leave that in. I don't know. I'll see what I want to edit out. But anyway, overall, the first 2 hours of the show were garbage. Once CM Punk promo started, that's when the show started to pick up. And the Daniel Bryan Antonio Cesaro match was the best part of the show. Definitely check that match out. Other than that, you know, you can't have 1/3 of a 1 hour of a 3-hour show Raw be good and expect me to give it a good rating. It was not good. It was a shit show with an okay 3rd hour and one really good match. So just check out that match and check out the Punk promo. The rest you can skip. And that's it, man. That's what I gotta say. Sorry it went so long. JB Squared 61279. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks. Bye.